Episode number 98, St0ner Sports Radio Podcast. I tried to talk when the music was turned all the way up. That's how you know we're rusty. We got March Madness recap for you. It's over. It's done. We've crowned a national champion. NBA playoff preview is here as the NBA regular season is done. We've got transfer portal stuff, Nico, and all that other stuff. We'll touch on that. Udonis Haslam says LeBron is dumb. We're going to touch on that. We might. Spring game controversy, get rid of it, keep it, bring it back, don't care, we'll talk about that. And Lee Corso hanging up the big mascot heads after the first broadcast of College Game Day this up season. What we love about Lee, what we're going to miss, and what we hope College Game Day does with their show format once he has left the desk. Joining me once again, and as always, this friend and co-host of the show, Zach Huffman. Zach, how we doing on a Thirsty Thursday, baby?
Hey, we're doing good. Thunder are rolling into the playoffs like we expected them to as the number one seed. It's about all you can say. It's going good for Oklahoma sports right now.
Really? It's not softball slacking a little bit. How we feel about
they are. Softball is kind of slacking, not looking like the best team in the country anymore. Yeah, not too happy with them. Just lost a series to Alabama. We haven't lost a series in a long time, and that's happened a couple times this season now. So not too happy about that. I know that, we had 4 years of that, Jada Coleman class, and they're all gone now. So I think that hurt just a little bit, but hey, what are you gonna do? I think they're still obviously I would still bet on them to win the World Series probably, but they're definitely not a shoo-in like they normally are.
Yeah, no, that's true. They are not. Wow.
Oh no.
There we go. We're vertical now. Welcome to the new Discord. We're vertical. Welcome. No more horizontal, I guess. Resize that later. Didn't know this was going to be a thing. Thanks, Discord. Look, yeah, no, that's disappointing for sure. But look, they'll probably get the hang of it. I mean, the ladies, they maybe the circumstances will change and the pitching will be a little bit more consistent. The bats will get hot. But yeah, no, definitely more vulnerable than they've been in a long, long time. So maybe the streak ends this year for the joy of their softball fans around the country that have been nauseated with the constant. We're not tired of it. They are. Look, let's just get into this, man. March Madness over. What we're going to do here is I'm going to kind of lay out how you think on a scale of 1 to 10 this March Madness was. And then, obviously, we'll talk about the Florida Gators, their trek onto the title. So go ahead, Zach. Give me your grade here of March Madness 2025. Give me what you got.
Probably like a 6 out of 10. I mean, I think the last couple of games were really good. We had some really good games. I just hate that it was. Oh, I'm getting an ad playing on my.
Hell yeah.
There we go. But I would rate it like a 6 out of 10. Like, games were good. Didn't like that it was a chalk bracket. Didn't like that it was the 4 number ones. Would have liked to see at least a number 2 get in there. I mean, geez. But I think Walter Clayton really showed himself to be the best player in college basketball, aside from Cooper Flag. NBA teams probably aren't looking to take him early just because of his age, I think. But I think he's going to be a solid NBA player. Happy that Florida was able to beat Houston. I wanted Kelvin Sampson to get one, but I really, really, really didn't like how Houston was playing that game. I mean, they were playing terrible, not to mention that last possession, which was just atrocious. I mean, the way that went down was absolutely terrible. You can't, you lose the ball there, you take that awful shot. I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad. They deserve to lose after that. Florida, basketball school more than a football school. People are saying.
Yeah, right now you might be able to make that case. You think this could be one of those? I mean, no, I'm not gonna. I don't think it'll be double championship time. I just don't think there.
No,
The softball
no,
team
no.
maybe has a chance. Are they any good?
Mhm.
I mean, are we just going men's sports with this? I don't. I mean, because I think their softball team's pretty decent, right? Are they not good anymore?
I think they're pretty decent, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I know Alabama's pretty good.
Yeah, obviously.
Um, Florida State's always good. Um, Tennessee is usually pretty good, and Texas is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
UCLA, obviously. Um, so I think Florida's pretty good. I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can grab one, but I think, like you said, right now probably about for sure. Look, in my opinion, this was probably, like you said, probably a 6 out of 10. I think Maryland kind of saved it from being worse than that because at least you had that one game-winning buzzer beater. But yeah, I'm kind of with you on this. I don't know whether to be impressed that the people that seeded this thing got it too right, or whether to be, you know, mad that we didn't get more animosity because that's kind of what we're used to is a couple first round games that are surprising, but we didn't really have that this season. The low seeds that won, most people expected to win. A lot of people were taking those high point and Lipscomb lines and being like, hey, I mean, these teams can jack the three, they can hit it, and then what do those teams do? They fold like a cheap tent. And I mean, I wasn't really on board with it because I thought NIL would kind of play a little bit more of a role. And is that what we're seeing, Zach? Do you think we're seeing that these players that were on these mid majors that were there for 2 or 3 years are like, now I don't gotta be here. I can go get my bag somewhere else and actually be on a team because that's what I think is happening here. And I think that, like you said, I think this is going to be more and more like the women's tournament where these higher seeds are going to probably end up winning games because they've just got better teams. And the possibility of you losing to one of these low seeds, you have to play awful. And I just don't see that being a thing now. I think we just got to get used to this being more chalk. Um, and like you said, props to Florida. I mean, they played really well. Houston jumped out early and just couldn't keep the lead. A story of their season for some of the they lost throughout the year or had close games throughout the year where they lost leads. We saw that firsthand as the Big 12 kind of catered itself towards the Cougars. But how do you feel about what I'm spilling out right now?
I mean, I think you're 100% accurate here. Houston just wasn't up to the task, and I hate to say that, but I'm happy that they were able to get at least one Final Four win. But I mean, they just looked bad in that second half. I mean, it was two completely different halves for Houston, and I think that's just a failure to adjust to I forget what the Florida coach's name is,
Oh
but a failure
gosh,
to adjust to his ability to start running that offense a little bit more through
Todd
Walter
Golden? Is
Clayton.
it Todd Golden?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
okay,
so.
yeah.
I think it is. Um, so I mean, props to him for getting his first national championship as Florida head coach. He's pretty good. I expect him to get a few more.
Yeah. Is it just me that feel like that man
Florida's,
smokes like 3 packs of cigarettes a day? He looks like he smokes heavy.
I mean, I don't know. You sure you're not talking about Bruce Pearl?
Bruce Pearl he dips probably. He looks like a dipper. I mean,
Yeah,
has a
100%.
horseshoe in
That's why
right
he's at
after the game.
That's why he's at Auburn.
Yeah, you got that right. That's a Southern hospitality. What are your takes on the NIL thing? You think I'm right about that too, or you think
Oh
that's
yeah, 100%. I mean, if you saw, I was nodding along with that one because NIL is making it to where only like you said, only these bid schools are going to be able to construct teams that are able to contend for national championships. And I think that we saw that, um, especially in this tournament. I mean, it doesn't get much more chalk than all four number ones making the Final Four, and we all know that those are all four teams that have a lot of money dedicated to their basketball program. So yeah, I think this is the future from now on, unless we start getting a little bit more regulation like we talked about with NIL. There have to be caps. There have to be caps. There and I was talking to someone about this today. There's no reason why we should be paying college athletes millions of dollars. I think it's taken away from what made college sports so good, which kind of a little bit more passion for the game, passion for the school. that's kind of gone these days. And I think the only solution to that is just decrease the payload. I'm not saying get rid of the pay, but I don't see any like the new Syracuse head coach quoted and he said, "I'm not paying no damn receiver $2 million because I mean that's just not that just doesn't feel worth it when you know you can go out there and get a really good receiver for $100,000. And I think that's a much better model for this NIL thing than these millions of dollars. These aren't pro athletes,
Yeah.
and I think that we're seeing that really unfold with Nico right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll get into
Like,
that for sure. Yeah,
I mean, that's just another
yeah,
example of how
yeah.
these college kids they're not really ready for that kind of money. Not all of them. Some of them are, but you know, you can't have them when it's like them or their parent negotiating for them, and then they start doing things like demanding $4 million, and
Well,
next thing you know, you're in UCLA.
well, you know why it was $4 million. Well, we'll get into that. Anyways, but my
Yeah.
point is this: is like you said, you can orchestrate this. To me, I feel like there just needs to be contracts. Like, I just think you need to not be able to wiggle your way out of these situations. I think that's all you're missing. I don't really care about the money amount because I know the schools are good for it. I get that it does, like you said, create this this tier system that's so obvious you can't hide it. But I mean, when you talk about college basketball, you know, I read after the season was over, you had eight that were spending over $10 million on their roster, and I said, "There's your elite eight." I said, "There's your elite eight. You find those 10
Yep.
schools. There's
100%.
your elite eight." I said, "You don't have to forget the brackets in the first round and second rounds. I mean, sure, you might miss a couple, but those 8 teams, move them all the way to the elite eight, then decide what you're going to do because then it evens out." But I think like the women's tournament, it's going to get intense as it gets down to those 16, 8 teams, but you're not going to get that super oh my gosh 4-12 seeds. It's just not going to happen. Think about Arkansas. Arkansas is the only double digit seed that made it far, and they're like an SEC team in a Power 5 conference. 10 seed probably was better than a 10 seed at the time as far as how they were playing, and like that was the lowest seed that was left in like the last elite eight, or like the last low seed, right? And it didn't even feel like it because it's like it's Arkansas. It's not like Arkansas State, like
Yeah, and it's Calipari.
yeah, it's Calipari too. It's like, come on, man. I mean, you might as well just be changing the colors to blue and white and just slapping a Kentucky logo on that shit. Like, what the fuck's the difference at that point? So yeah, I think we're kind of going away from that, for sure. And I think that's kind of disappointing because that's why I fell in love with college basketball that time of year. Was like, I'm just ready to see some of these big boys like Duke lose to teams like Mercer. Those games shaped me. The George Mason run will always to me be one of the best low seed runs ever. Only really contested by the VCU run, and you could even probably throw Butler in there. Butler had a deep run. I mean Princeton? What that was at 90s, like the early 90s, or they had that run?
No, just a couple years ago they went to the Elite Eight, didn't they? As the 14.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, that's right. You're right. You are right. You are right. Yes, you are correct. I forgot they did that. Yeah, no, you're right. You are, and that's why I bring it up. They were comparing those two teams from like back then. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yes, you are correct. Princeton. Yeah, but those stories are going to be dime in a dozen now. You might get lucky here and there, but those teams are going to need very preferable paths to get in those positions, opposed to where it was like, man, we got. Because the thing is now you can miss on 2 or 3 recruits and then just get them back after they're already like, oh yeah, these guys can play. You know what I'm saying? And the other team can't. The other mid-major teams will not be able to match whatever dollar signs you're throwing at these kids, and there's your problem.
Yeah, that's the big problem and I think that's why a cap would solve it, right?
Well, contracts also. If they're locked into that school for 3 years, what are you going to do?
Not necessarily that, because I think they should still have the right to transfer with their contracts. But if there's a cap, then those mid majors can still compete with the pay, and I think that's the issue. I mean, you can't have it to where you have 8 schools spending $10 million on their roster when all these mid majors can't afford to spend $1 million on a roster. You're never going to get another low seed to win a tournament, like you said, or even get far or make a deep run in the tournament. It's just not going to happen.
Like we're the St. Peter's done. I mean, cooked. I mean,
yeah, but it's like saying the Hornets have a chance to beat the Thunder, right, in the finals. It's just like it's not going to happen because there's just not the same talent. It's not even close to the same talent, and that's even a bigger disparity when you're talking about college. I mean, these schools like UConn, Houston, Florida now, Duke, Kentucky. I mean, they're spending so much money on their rosters that they're getting the best guys possible. And you're going to start seeing a lot more of these top 10 recruits all going to the same few schools. And that's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You put a little bit, you put some sort of cap. I don't know, it doesn't have to be that high. Let's say instead of spending $10 million on your roster, let's cap it at 7. Let's cap it at 5.
Yeah, I think 5 for basketball and 22 million for football. I think $1 million per position on a starting unit is probably fair. Because you're not going to have any depth if you put all your eggs in that starting lineup basket. I just think that's fair.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the only way you can really look at it. NFL teams have a salary cap for a reason.
Yeah. It's to try to somewhat level the playing field, at least financially.
Let's be honest. If there wasn't a salary cap in the NFL, the Cowboys would probably win every year.
You're right. You are right.
That's a terrible world to live in. That's a terrible world to live in.
Even for you, you're like, no, like, because you wouldn't feel like it's fair.
I don't even want to see them win anymore.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Well, not even. But I mean, in that scenario, it's like you don't even feel like it's really winning because the competition has no chance to even compete. Like, what's the point? You're just going to barrel roll everybody, which is kind of where we're headed here, which is what we're trying to prevent. We want sports to continue to be competitive, and right now you're seeing that competitive realm shrink and shrink and shrink due to who's got that dollar sign. I mean, look, I don't like Elon Musk, I'll be honest, but would I like to see him put, $1 billion into the Elon Phoenix? Just do it. Just see what happens. I mean, see if they make a tournament run if you back them. I guarantee you walk up with your... I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, but I just don't understand why more celebrities or influential people don't go to their alma maters that don't really have a huge NIL fund and just dump money into it. Like, why not? Why not? Like, what do you have that you want to see your team? I just, I don't know.
We are seeing some of that. There are some celebrities that are going and they're donating. Not as much as they should be. It's also a lot more towards football. Than basketball, but yeah, I mean, right.
Yeah, I mean, for Northwestern, for example, like Northwestern, like famous for like their theater school. Like they have a lot of actors and actresses that have come out of that program, and it's like you don't see them dumping money into the Wildcats. Why? You can just do it. I mean, for the love of God, Shane Gillis donated money to Notre Dame, and I mean, he's a comedian. They don't make no damn money in comparison to actors and actresses that are, B-list, A-list, C-list. I mean, they make chump change. I mean,
let's not act like Shane Gillis is an A-list. It's kind of a Netflix show. I mean,
who doesn't? Who doesn't?
No, he's got like an actual series, not just a comedy show.
Oh yeah,
He's A-list. That's how he's able to dump money into Notre Dame, and look what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
what happened.
Steve Angeli left. That's what happened. The man of the people, Steve Angeli left. Someone needs to grab Steve Angeli. Please, someone grab Steve Angeli. Save us.
There's an obvious need in college sports, and it needs to happen in every major sport. We need a commissioner.
Ooh, don't do that. I mean, you're right, but I mean, like, why do I not want it? Because Roger Goodell's been so ass. That's what I mean. Well, I hear commissioner, I go, oh, Roger Goodell's an asshole. I mean,
but you need someone.
No, I agree.
Someone to push. You need someone to push an agenda. You need someone to get business deals done. Because at the end of the day, it's not fair. You're gonna have to create more of a tiered system. There's gonna have to be 2 different tournaments eventually for who can spend more than another school. If you can't afford to spend $1 million on a roster, you're never going to get into the tournament.
Yeah. No, you're not.
You're not getting into the tournament, and that's just bullshit. I mean,
it is. Happen. No, it is. I mean, it's
schools like George Mason, schools like Butler, who they got plenty of money, but these smaller programs, those runs are what make March Madness like the best tournament ever, and it's just not going to happen anymore.
And those runs also make those schools more appealing for players to want to enroll and people to want to donate money. The better you do, the more your alumni and just casual people that just enjoy your program are going to want to donate money. So, I mean, that also affects, NIL in a very real way. But what's also real, Zach, chances of the Thunder hoisting that Larry O'Brien baby. I mean, I'm already clearing my schedule to go downtown and just get absolutely hammered. I mean, if we don't go together, if this doesn't happen, we've made a huge mistake. I mean, like I mean,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
I'll be at that
yeah,
parade.
no, I'm not. I did no work for me. You know, Paycom just gonna be shut down. They're just gonna shut down the whole entire. You know,
No, they won't.
I know. No, what am I thinking? No, no. But there's no way I'm not calling in. You know, I'm not. I'm blocking out the dates the minute. You know, the minute it happens, we're blocking out the dates. I'm making sure I'm not gonna be at work because there's no way I'm not spending a whole day downtown with the whole entire almost state probably because I think we could probably fit the whole state down there. I mean,
Oh
most
yeah.
populous state in America, and just rock out with everybody. I mean, I think it'd be a great time. You know, and I'm ready to just have it happen because they've got the team to do it. But Zach, look, we got playing games that are still happening. We don't know who they're even playing in the first round right now. When we're recording this. Um, what are you expecting here as far as the NBA playoff path the Thunder would have to take, and what are some of your surprises you think could happen on both sides of the bracket here, even though it's not fully complete?
Yeah, so first I want to say that parade is going to be crazy because people don't realize one, Oklahoma City has never had a sports team win anything because we've only really ever had the Thunder and they haven't been around very long. So the city can go crazy and people do not realize how deep the Thunder have like a fan base in Oklahoma City. It's not like an LA or a New York where you have basketball fans who are the fans of those teams. Everybody goes to Thunder games here. Like everybody goes to those games. Everybody loves the Thunder a lot. Um, it's going to be crazy if they win that championship. So I'm really looking forward to that. But in terms of the path, I'm going to be honest. I think we're getting the Mavericks. I mean, we've had a couple play-in games. We've had the Mavericks beat the Kings, knocked the Kings out of the playoffs. We had the Warriors beat the Grizzlies. Warriors are going to play the Rockets now, but Grizzlies and the Mavericks. I mean, this is a tough one because I think it's dependent on Klay Thompson, just like their last game was. If is he's going to be able to, be that scoring option again? I'm not. I don't know. John Morant kind of hurt his ankle. I don't know if he's going to be 100%. This is going to be a tough game for Memphis. I think. I think I have Dallas winning this and becoming the 8th seed against OKC. Now, in terms of what that series looks like, Thunder in 5 at most. I think. I mean, I don't want to say that because we have
History,
battle scars from we have battle scars from the Mavericks. But let's be honest here, Luka Doncic is no longer on this team.
yeah.
Anthony Davis is a really good basketball player. I'd say a top 5 player when he's
You can't
healthy.
carry him though. Yeah, you
For
can't
being
carry him.
honest,
Yeah, you can't. He
he
needs help.
can't carry
He needs
them
help.
without Kyrie. He needs Kyrie, and
Yeah.
I don't think Klay Thompson is going to be able to be that scoring option multiple
No,
times in a
he's
row.
gonna have to.
Especially
Yeah.
considering the fact he's going to have Lou Dort on him probably,
Yeah, that's rough.
which like because he's going to be the only like really scoring option that's on that perimeter. So I mean, maybe PJ Washington. Like I don't know, but
I
like
mean, you're
someone
literally
has to.
yeah. What you're saying is you have to have Klay Thompson fill the void of Luca and Kyrie as far as points and assists go, and like he's almost 40.
Yeah.
Like it's not happening.
Yeah, and not to mention Anthony Davis really didn't play that well in that Kings game either.
Him
He
talking
looks
shit anyways.
okay. Yeah, he doesn't seem 100%. I don't know.
He's not.
Um, yeah, so it's tough. But I think it's probably OKC in 4 in that series. I think it's probably a pretty easy sweep. Not to mention the fact that their fans don't even want to win.
Facts.
Like,
Facts.
like they do not want to win this game. They were hoping to lose
Last game.
against the Kings.
Yeah.
Like those fans, I have a lot of friends in Texas, because I'm from there. They want this team to lose.
Yeah. Burn it to the ground. Yeah. Burn
Yeah,
it to
like
the ground.
they do not want the Mavericks to win at all. So even in like the home crowd, it's not gonna be a home crowd for them. This is gonna be 4 home games for OKC. It's gonna be embarrassing, I think. Um, so the Thunder would then have to play the winner of the Nuggets and the Clippers.
Yeah. How do you
I got
see
the
that? Series?
Clippers.
You think Clippers get it?
I got the Clippers in 6 or 7 here. Kawhi looks really good. Like let's be honest. Kawhi looks like vintage Kawhi. As long as he stays healthy in this series, and he's been healthy the later part of the season, I think that they can beat the Nuggets maybe in 5, honestly. But I'm going to go with Clippers in 6. Jokic is still obviously playing out of his mind, but this team can't play defense. They just can't. they can't play defense, and the Clippers have a pretty good defense. And honestly, with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, probably a better offense too. Um, Obviously, the best player in the world is Nikola Jokic. I'm not even gonna debate that as an SGA guy. Um, no one can do what Jokic does. It's not going to be enough. I mean, we've seen him do these 60-point triple doubles and lose. We've seen him do these 45 triple doubles and lose, 30, 20, 20 and lose. Like it
I I think the
it's
key
just
is
because the
Jamal
rest of the
Murray. The
team's
key
not
is Jamal
there.
Murray. The key is Jamal Murray.
Yeah, and Jamal Murray is just not there. And he's going to have Kawhi on him. Like it's not going to happen. It's just not. Um, so I mean, listen, Jokic. I'm not going to doubt Jokic. Like if I have to bet on one player to take over and win this game and win this series, it would be Nikola Jokic. But
If the so you're saying 6 or 7 here, right? Yeah, that's where you're leaning
I
here.
think I'm going. I think I'm leaning 6, but I could see Jokic forcing it to 7.
Yeah, I mean, because I
But
think
I got Clippers.
I see the Nuggets still winning the first 2 games. I think that both teams win their first 2 home games. I really do think. Your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure. I mean, that's tough. LA doesn't have much of a home crowd when it's the
Ooh.
Clippers.
So
So
I mean, you think the Nuggets could blow a 3-1 lead, maybe?
no, I don't think they get. I don't think they necessarily win both their games at home. As much as they do have a home crowd advantage. There's just like they can't play defense, man. That's really what it comes down to. Like Jokic is one of the worst rim protectors in the league.
But all it takes is
Um,
James Harden doing what he does and shitting down his leg for you to have a chance.
but Kawhi is there, and like
He
that's
can't carry that
something that
whole
we haven't.
Clippers team, though. If you're telling me it's
I
Kawhi versus
mean,
Jokic, I'm taking
if
Jokic
James
every time.
okay, but if James Harden is, you're assuming that James Harden's going to shit the bed.
Yeah,
James
yeah,
Harden
yeah,
had
yeah.
40-point playoff games last year.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, no. If he
the,
if he does that, it doesn't matter. That's all I'm saying. If he does that, it doesn't matter. Even if he scores 25, it don't matter. I think you could have
he
James
doesn't even
Harden.
have to do that. Although maybe I'm controversial in saying this. I think James Harden's the best player on the Clippers.
No,
Um,
I don't think that's. No, I agree.
even
I
when
agree.
Kawhi's healthy, like
I mean,
James Harden he's stepped it up on defense, and he is a system, and he's like I think he led the league in assists, like
did
either this year or last
I think
year.
it's last year.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
this year.
and
I'm not sure.
like the dude is a consistent. The dude can give you 25 and 10 anytime you need it. Like if you ask him to give you 25 and 10, it's happening.
Well, he's top five. He's top five. 8.7 a game. Trey Young leads with 11.
I think it was last season he was the assist
Yeah,
leader.
it had to be last year. I'll look like
Maybe I'm
last
wrong.
year.
I know he
Last
was
year,
one
the
year.
leader in assists was LeBron James.
Really?
Oh no, that's postseason. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm like, wait a minute. Like that didn't even sound right. And I'm saying no, it was Tyrese Halliburton. He was still top five though. He's doing better than last year. He was 8.5 last.
He
Eight.
won it in 2023.
Okay, so 2022, 23. Yep, here he is. 10.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's. I
But
mean, yeah,
like you said, top 5 in the last couple of years.
exactly.
I think he's the system. He's kind of their Jokic, right? Like he's the
He's
system.
he's their
Everything runs
triple
through
double
him.
threat. Their triple.
Kawhi doesn't even have to be their defensive anchor because Zubats is like that guy, and honestly should get some DPOY votes.
Like that.
He's playing lockdown. He's playing lockdown defense. He should get a couple of votes. The DPOY race, by the way, real quick, is insane this year. If you're keeping track of the ballots, a lot of people have confirmed ballots and everything. It is split pretty much dead even right now. Last time I looked, at least between Evan Mobley, Draymond Green, Lou Dort, Dyson Daniels, like all of them, and then Zubats had a vote too. So I think this DPOY race is going to be really, really interesting. I think it's probably going to go to Evan Mobley, but we'll see there. But yeah, I think James Harden is like the best, probably the best player there. Zubats is going to be able to anchor the defense. Kawhi is going to be Kawhi. I got the Clippers in 6, which brings us to OKC and the Clippers. I'm not going to lie, OKC looks unbeatable. Let's be honest. I don't want to sound like biased, but I feel like when you win 68 games, I think it's okay to say that, and you have the highest differential of all time. I think it's okay to say that. get 54 double-digit wins in the season, I think it's okay to say that this team looks pretty unbeatable. I mean, obviously, we've seen them collapse in a couple of games and just like go completely, silent for shooting. Um, I could see that happening one or two times in this series, but I think I'm going to take OKC in 5. I don't see a world where Clippers don't get one. I mean, that's a really good team. That's a really good defense. I could see them getting 1 or 2, but I'm going to go OKC in 5. Which then we'd be in the Western Conference Finals. So why don't you tell us about this Lakers Wolves series here?
So Lakers Timberwolves already, the smack talk is already starting. I mean, Anthony Edwards loves being the underdog. We know that. You can even go back to his college days. He did not play on like a very dominant team. Like he was a good player, but that team he was on was not really good. So he knows what it's like to be the underdog. He knows, he likes that feeling. He likes being that guy. And on the other side, you have the Lakers, who seem to be, in some people's opinion, poised to be the ones that meet the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals with the path they've been given. But what I'm looking at this matchup, Zach, what I'm looking at here is guard play. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at, is Austin Reeves going to be able to continue what he's been doing, which is being a fantastic point guard for this Los Angeles Lakers team. Possibly, maybe one of the greatest stories in the last decade, as far as a guy coming out of nowhere, coming, game winning, big time. Like, he might be more clutch than LeBron currently, in my opinion. Yeah, OU alum, on a team that was underachieving for multiple years, under Lon Kruger. I mean, but still, no one would have thought that he would be here. And I really like the way he's been playing. If he continues to be psycho like he is, I don't think that the Timberwolves have much of a chance. They're not the same team as they were last year, and I think the big thing is you just look at the loss of Cat. I think not having Karl-Anthony Towns on the floor for the Timberwolves and DiVincenzo playing like ass all season was not something that the Timberwolves expected. They expected to get the DiVincenzo of last season, where he was hitting like 5 or 6 threes a game, and now the dude can't even score the basket worth a dandy. He's barely even seeing the floor. I mean, at least that's what it feels like, because his impact has been so diminished, and that void that they have, that Cat left, has not been filled adequately at all. And I feel like that's their biggest issue. Sure, Lakers don't have any big men, Zach, but I don't think that's going to be what wins this series. I have the Lakers finishing off Timberwolves in 6.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it could even be Lakers in 5. Ant-Man, Cant-Man, Layman.
I'm thinking Ant gets 2. He'll have a chance. He'll have a chance to get 2. He might miss a game winner, but I think he'll have a chance.
Here's my thing about LA. They're going to be able to run the offense through 2 guys if they want to at any point of the series. Jackson Hayes is the big weak spot for LA, but let's not discount the fact that when a center plays for Luka Doncic, that center becomes a lot better. And that's what's happening these last couple of games. Jackson Hayes does not look bad at all. If we're being honest, the last couple weeks of this regular season that happened. I think the Lakers are definitely a threat in terms of Western Conference Finals. I have them beating the Timberwolves in 5. Like you said, they traded the wrong big man. They should have traded Rudy Gobert. He's a cone on offense. You can't do anything to him on offense. And if you can pull him out of the lane, or if you're hitting from 3, I mean, his defense is pretty negligible. So,
and you get him in the air on a pump fake, and you drive right by him. Just not he doesn't
exactly.
He's not quick enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, so as long as you're not having to rely on driving into Rudy Gobert, they're going to be able to win this series. And the Lakers defense has played really, really, really well lately.
Best defense of the last month, I believe. Best defense.
Yeah.
Last 35 days.
Yeah, so JJ Redick is a really good coach. It's something I think that we can all agree on now.
It doesn't hurt to have Luka on your team. Oh, I just don't know. Loss of Anthony Davis replaced with Luka, look better. I mean, yeah, and like you said, he does make everybody around him look better because of the attention he draws offensively. It makes you flash to the basket for buckets. And that's what you see Jackson Hayes take advantage of. When you have these monsters of these Hall of Famers, these first ballot Hall of Famers, unquestioned on opposite sides of the floor, spreading your defense out like that. And like you said, you have a guy down low that's not very quick with his feet. I mean, it's trouble, baby. I mean, it could get ugly. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers swept, but I just think Ant gets at least one. I think that the Timberwolves will win a lot of these games late too, because I think some of the old Lakers will start showing up where they start really hot and start cooling off as it goes on. I think that's just something that they're going to probably struggle with for maybe a game or two, and that's going to open the door for chances for Minnesota. I just don't think they'll be able to grab those chances.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Now, I think the most interesting series of the West is the Rockets and Warriors.
You're right, baby. Get your popcorn ready.
This one is insane. This one is insane because what did we see in that play? We saw playoff Jimmy, and listen, that's a scary sight when you're going into the playoffs. If you see a playoff Jimmy, it doesn't matter what seed he is. He went to the finals as what, an 8 seed?
Yeah, yeah. My man carried that team. My man carried that team.
And now let's not forget this man has Steph Curry on his team now, and
a lot of help.
Damn, like that side of the playoffs
and Buddy
is
Hield,
going to be really
Buddy
interesting.
Hield, don't forget.
Yeah, Buddy Hield,
I mean, he hasn't been playing, but he's an option from three that's
possibly,
dangerous.
You know, the guy that has been playing really well on defense and definitely deserves to get some of these DPOY votes, Draymond Green. He shouldn't win it. He shouldn't win it, but he's still a really good defender. Like, and Jimmy's a good defender. Like, this team looks scary going into the playoffs. They fell victim to the fact that there were like 6 teams tied in the West by the end of the season, and they just happened to pull this, like, pretty much get the 7 seed off of like weird tiebreakers. But they won that game convincingly. Now they're playing Houston. I think Houston's a really good team, but they do not have one guy that's going to carry them this series. They don't. They have Jalen Green, who is a really good player.
What about Shampoo? Shampoo can't carry?
Yeah, they got Shampoo, Shangoon, Bamboon.
He's their guy though, right? I mean, I know that Jalen Green's good too, but like that's your 1-2, right?
You can almost say Amen Thompson's becoming their guy. He's starting to flourish into that guy. He's their defensive anchor right now. He's actually got
prime example of a guy who needed one more year in college. Prime example of a guy that probably could have benefited, because I think he would be at that level. Like if he had stayed, he I think it would have helped him out a ton. But like you said, now these players develop so much quicker in the NBA because you're not having to go to class. You just work out and practice all the time, so you get so much better, so much quicker.
Then let's be honest, this man's moving like prime LeBron James.
Oh God,
like he is so athletic. Like he's insanely athletic. Him and Asar both are really athletic. But yeah, they don't have one guy that I think is going to be able to take over, average 25 or more for them. But they're a really good defense. They're a really good defense. This one's going 7, I think.
I mean, I'm
gonna roll with my gut here and say Warriors in 7, because I just have so much trust in playoff Jimmy, and I have so much trust in Steph Curry, and I just don't think that the Rockets are going to be able to produce somebody unless someone steps up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible that Shampoo can get 30
he's done it,
points per game in this series. Yeah. Maybe Jalen Green's that guy. Maybe it's Amen Thompson. Maybe it's Dylan Brooks. But I don't think. The fact that we don't really know who that's going to be going into the series is what concerns me, because I mean, I think the Warriors are just also so experienced, not to mention the fact that they were already experienced before they had Jimmy Butler, and now they have a guy who willed 2 teams to the finals on his own in 2020 and 2023. I mean, willed those teams to the finals. He knows exactly what needs to happen to get to the finals. So yeah, I think Warriors in 7 on this one. Yeah. Which brings us to Lakers and Warriors. That one's tough.
I kind of want to weigh in on the Houston Warriors, because my question is over under on how many techs here. Because I mean, I think we're looking at. I mean, look, Dylan Brooks says he's not gonna get ejected. I'll take that, but that doesn't mean he ain't picking up a T. You think 8? Yeah, I think that's. For the series? For a series. Yeah, for the series. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't think anybody.
That's the line.
Do you think anybody gets tossed?
I'm taking the over.
You think anybody gets tossed?
Yeah.
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 Who would you be your money on, Draymond or
I mean,
Dillon?
let's be honest.
Draymond
If
or Dillon?
you're No, let's be honest. If you're Houston, right? Why not send Dylan Brooks at Jimmy Butler to try to get Jimmy ejected?
Oh yeah, no, you
You know
want
what I
that?
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you want that?
why
Yeah.
not try? Why not
Yeah, I see.
try to
Look, so
get Jimmy to swing on you?
yeah, well, I'm a dirty man. I'm in favor of like get the backups in there and just have them start hitting people. Like, I mean, what's the worst thing that happen? Yeah, I get my starters in
Yeah, let's
after you
see
get
if we can get
tossed.
someone ejected. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I'm looking to, I'm looking. Somebody's kicking a ball into the stands. I'm looking for Tracy McGrady kick the ball in the stands level, just crazy shit. I really think there's a, I mean, because these teams don't like each other. That's the thing is, these teams don't like each other. But I think you're right. I
Not at
think the
all.
Rockets are in the same position as the Thunder were in last year, minus the fact that they were like they're as good as the Thunder were last year. But they're just too young to get over this hump. I kind of agree. Now I'm kind of more on the line of Warriors in 6 here because of the experience factor, and I believe in Jimmy. Like, yeah, I'll never forget calling that shot in the playoffs and DMing you like, oh no, this game isn't over. Just wait for Jimmy. And you were like, oh my god, you're right. I mean, and it just didn't stop after that. He just kept going, and they willed themselves to that series against the Celtics. I mean, it was crazy.
Nuggets.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying like in the Eastern Conference Finals, they like
Oh, yeah.
he willed that series to a game 7. You know what I'm saying? Like or to take it from them 3-1, right? So I mean, it's something that you just have to put stock into, and I think it's just going to be too. Now go ahead and tell me about this Steph LeBron matchup that I'm also itching to have happen in the second round.
Oh my God, this one's tough, right?
Yeah.
Because like when you're looking Lakers Warriors, you got so much experience. I mean, even Luca went to the finals last year. Like this, there is so much experience, and I mean, this is a second round matchup. Like, oh my God. And you have like 5 guys that have like willed teams to the finals. I have to go Lakers, I think. I mean, I just don't see Luca and LeBron losing against this team. But God damn it, playoff Jimmy.
It's gonna come down to the role players, right? Like I think that's kind of where
No,
we're
it's
at
gonna come
here.
down to
Yeah.
Jimmy.
You think it's just
gonna
Jimmy? You
come
think it's
down to
just
Jimmy.
it's just Jimmy?
I'm
I
not
don't.
like, am I wrong?
Can
It's
Western Conference
Jimmy.
Jimmy be the same as Eastern Conference Jimmy? Yeah.
If Jimmy plays like playoff Jimmy, I don't know, man. I don't
It's
know.
such when he gets rolling, it's such a freight train, right? Because the thing
Do
is
you see he's hyped, man? He was
well,
warming up today in a Steph Curry jersey with his name on the back. It was number 30 with Butler on the back. And oh my God, he was like about to debut some new shoes. That man is hyped. Like he wants this one. He wants this one. And Jimmy knows if he's gonna get one, it's gonna have to be with someone like Steph Curry. I'm worried about the Warriors, but I have to go Lakers. Luka LeBron just seems like such an easy pick.
yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's just I look at the body of work of the Warriors this season, and I just don't see that spark of like, yeah, like this is going to be their time to pull this 7-3 upset. I just don't see that happening. Look, I'm kind of with you here. Like Jimmy's really good, but I think that the production of Jimmy and Luca and LeBron and Steph will cancel each other out, and you got to focus on players like Draymond and Buddy and Pods, and I mean all these guys for the Warriors, and then for the Lakers, it's like you got to look at your Austin Reeves of the world. You got to look at your Jackson Hayeses of the world. Look at your Hachimuras of the. I mean, like these guys that don't really stand out for the most part is vital parts will become super important when it comes to just overall box score. I just think that you just have to give the edge to the. Feel like it's hard for me to pick against two guys like LeBron and Luca over a really good Steph Curry that's got that thumb thing going on. Like I don't think it's affecting him that much. Obviously, he's still producing not even there. I think Jimmy, like you said, if even if he's playoff Jimmy, you've got to have some help other places offensively. Have the inconsistency that we've seen from Buddy and Odds and all these guys for the Warriors. It scares me more than Jackson Hayes. Scares me more than AR scares. More than the Lakers role players can usually get theirs more often than not.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta agree there. I think this one's gonna be fun. I think I'm gonna go Lakers and 7.
I'm gonna go Lakers in 6. I got Lakers, and I think we won't see a lot of game 7. That's my prediction. All not a lot of games. I think it'll get really intense when you get in finals of both of these brackets. But I think till then, I don't think the realm of possibility is gonna happen. I think drama will build as bracket.
Yeah,
So
love
let
it.
so
Should
before
we?
yeah
Should we?
so before we talk about this Western Conference, let's go over to the East and kind of break down the first round here, and then we'll kind of meet in the middle. Look, Cavs. Obviously, we don't know who they're playing yet. If extrapolate on kind of the situation here, what do you think's gonna happen with their round opponent? How you see that series?
Yeah. So that's between the Hawks and the Heat. Um, I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna lean Hawks here. I'm not gonna lie. The Heat played really well. I mean, they have been playing really well. They beat the hell out of the Bulls, and they looked really good doing it. But I have faith in Trey Young. I do. I got faith in Trey Young to like will this team to the 8th seed at least. Um, I'm expecting like a 40 ball. Not gonna lie, that's kind of what I'm banking on when I'm in the Hawks here. So I think it's gonna be the Hawks, and I think Cleveland beats them in 4. I
Yeah,
mean, they're just too much. They're just better.
yeah.
They're just better.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it matters who wins this game between the Heat and the Hawks. I'm kind
Yeah.
of with you, but I'm more of a 5 games kind of thing. I just think that even these lower seeds usually can at least get themselves a game. But I'm gonna go opposite here. I think Tyler Hero continues to be hot here. I've got the Heat beating the Hawks here. I think that again, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme. I just think he's playing really well. I think that right now, if I had to pick a team that fully prepared more than the other, I'm gonna go. I mean, look, Trey Young getting ejected the way he did, kind of the way he was carrying himself at the end of that game, really disappointing. Don't really care most of the time, but it was just kind of like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I get that they were getting blown out by 20, but you don't have to go out embarrassing like I mean, bullying the refs like that. I kind of like it. Fuck the refs, but I mean, like at the same time, it's like that's not why you were losing that game, homie. Like you weren't losing by 20 because of the refs. Like you guys stunk it up for 4 straight quarters. You played like trash. You deserved to get beat. And I just don't think mentally there's the fortitude there to sell past a team like the Heat. Got, like you said, experience, and they've got one of the best coaches ever. So I edge to the Heat there. Doesn't matter. Cavs in 5. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty chalk, honestly. Really interesting one that I want to talk about is Pacers Bucks.
Big one.
If you know how I feel about this, I got the Pacers winning this one in 6. Um, Dame's out for game 1, but he's probably going to play the rest of the games from what we've been told,
Yep.
which is really, really nice that he was able to recover from that blood clot. That's rare.
Yep.
Um, so good for him for being able to come back for that. But I just don't see him being able to be 100%, even if he is playing games 2, game 3. Giannis, however, if you look at the stats, Giannis averages his best numbers against Indiana. It's like overall.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm probably a little bit worried there if I'm Indiana, just because historically you give up so much to Houston or to Indiana. I mean, so I don't know. That's a toughie, but I think I'm going to go Pacers and Six just because Tyrese Halliburton is just so looking so good from the playmaking perspective. I think he's honestly, if I had to pick a player with the highest IQ in the league right now, it's Tyrese Halliburton. The man's decision making is really, really good. He does not make a lot of mistakes. He is like the kind of guy that's giving you 20 assists, 0 turnovers, and he's actually done that this season. So I think I'm going to go with the Pacers just because of the playmaking and the fact that Siakam is playing really well as well. Miles Turner's defense is going to be key here against Giannis. Historically, Giannis owns them, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The rest of the Bucks just aren't up to the task right now. Damian Lillard's not going to be 100%. Kyle Kuzma's Kyle Kuzma. Like this isn't going to be. This is another year of the Bucks being wasted because of injuries.
Yeah, no, I agree with you here. Look, I like the Bucks. I liked them before the season started. I thought the makeup of the team was something that could compete for an Eastern Conference Finals appearance, but it just didn't pan out that way, right? Like you said, injury bug really got him bad at the worst time. I don't really think the addition of Kuzma helps them. At least not as much as I kind of thought it would. And the Pacers are playing really well. Like I said, they're playing really good basketball. Would I like to see the Bucks playing the Cavs opposed to the Pacers? Yeah, probably. I think it might be a more entertaining series, but I just don't think they can do it. Now, this is a series I could see going 7. If Dame turns into a prime Dame, and like you said, Giannis puts up the numbers he's been putting up against Indiana, it might go that distance. It might be my best bet for a series to go the distance in the first round out of both conferences. I really think it has the kind of makeup, but it really depends on Damian Lillard's health in the play, like you said, of Halliburton and kind of how he leads that offense. If he can continue, I really wish he would just kind of contribute more offensively from 3. I feel like that All-Star game last season kind of warped my expectations of him because he was just shooting threes left and right and just nothing but nylon. Like, boy, this dude is dangerous from distance, and you just don't see that this season as far as his points per game output, his 3-point shot, but he just not been even close to that kind of pace. Now I get the All-Star game's not a real game, but I mean you're not getting he's still getting the same kind of looks, which is why that concerns me a little. But yeah, no, I think the Pacers get this in 7. I think this thing goes the distance. I really believe that Damian Lillard's going to come back from this and really try to make up for lost time. I think Giannis will continue to perform, like I said, really well against. And I think that it just might be enough to take this thing the distance. Give me the Pacers, Cavaliers in the second round.
Yep. Just to clarify on those Giannis stats real quick, when I say he averages his best numbers against Indiana,
listen,
just to be exact here, 36.8 points, 12.7. This is the last 2 years against Indiana. And this is pretty much the same team the last 2 years, let's be honest. 36.8 points, 12.7 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 1.4 steals, 1.2 blocks, shooting 67%.
Jeez.
It's just not fair. It's just not fair. Not to mention the fact he averages 13 free throw attempts against them. Like,
they're soft down low, boys. I mean, that's all it screams to me is they have no one down low that can do it.
Just to give you a couple of stat lines from his last 2 years against Indiana: 54, 12 and 3, 64, 14 and 3, 37, 10 and 11. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's literally almost averaging a triple double against
30, 18 and 11.
That's, I mean,
like,
that should be enough to at least stretch the series. Like I said, I mean, that's gonna be, if he plays like that, that's gonna be enough to make this thing go a pretty long way. I think that'll probably be to the detriment of whoever wins this series because Cleveland's gonna be well rested. let's just say they're gonna be well rested. I don't think that's going to be a surprise. Let's go ahead and hit this Knicks Pistons matchup because this one to me is just as polarizing as the Pacers Bucks, but it has the potential to be just an upset driven series here. Cade Cunningham is playing on a level that a lot of people expected him to play on when he first entered the league, but again, another guy where it's like probably could have benefited from staying in Stillwater a couple more years. He really was not to the level of what I expected him heading into the NBA, but now he's here. Like, welcome, hello. I mean, he's knocking on the door of being one of the faces of the league. That's something that the Pistons wanted when they took him, and he's here now. And right now, the Knicks are playing like garbage. They're playing like garbage. Zach, this team is 1-11 against the top 4 or 5 teams in the league. They're 1-11. The only team I think they've beat is the Pacers. Out of Pacers, Bucks, Thunder, Lakers, and Celtics, they've won 1 game out of 11, facing all those teams. One. And I think that that's not good heading in here. I think they're not playing very well at all. They still have a lot of talent. Cat's been playing pretty good. But I think the key is going to be Brunson. Brunson's been kind of, he hasn't been as good as he was last season for sure. But can you turn it on in playoffs? For sure. Are the Pistons, a better team on paper? I wouldn't say that, but they're playing a lot better, and they're playing better team basketball in my opinion. And that's why I got the Pistons in 6, baby. I think this is prime for a disappointing playoff run for the Knicks fans. It sucks, but they're just not playing up to the level they need to. And right now, the Pistons are peaking. I'm taking the hot team.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you here. I got Pistons in 6. I'm mostly picking them because of Malik Beasley. I'm not going to lie. That guy's been playing out of his mind. The efficiency that he's getting from behind the line is insane. Um, I like the role players on Detroit better than I do New York. I'm kind of banging on Cat to shit the bed um, in this series. He's terrible on defense. So I could easily see the Pistons exploiting that. Cade Cunningham's been playing out of his mind, like you said. Jalen Brunson, that is going to be the question, I think, if he can kind of will this team like he's proven he can in the past. But yeah, I got Pistons.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, it's a surprise, but it's a very popular pick right now, and I don't blame people for. Definitely be exciting to Saturday to see. 2-7 matchup here, Zach. Celtics Magic. A lot of people jumping on the Magic bandwagon here. 81% of bets going on Magic to upset the Celtics in the first round. Look, man, I love me some Paolo Banchero, but I'm sorry. This Celtics team shoots the ball so well from every aspect of the floor. I just don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Give me the Celtics in 6. I'll give the Magic a couple. I think they win a couple. They might win, game 3 and game. Maybe both their home games if they're lucky. I just don't. 6 is maybe pushing it. This seems like a Celtics in 5 kind of scenario to me. But maybe I'm underselling the Magic. Franz and the boys get it done. Franz and the Funky Bunch. No. Can they stretch it past 5?
Listen, if you're picking the Magic, 1-800-GAMBLER. They're available to help you at any time. Sorry, it's just not happening. It's a 24/7 hotline. Listen, just Celtics in 4. Not gonna lie, Celtics in 4.
Just cause fuck them. Just cause fuck them.
Yeah, Celtics are so good. They took a couple games of the regular season off. The Celtics are so good, and the Magic. Let's be honest, they beat the Hawks.
Yeah, what are we? Are we standing on business?
The East is very top heavy.
Yeah,
it's Cleveland, it's Boston, and then it's everyone else. Yeah, Celtics in 4, maybe 5. Okay. I'm going 4.
Yeah. I'm giving Franz and the boys 1. Give me Franz and the Funky Bunch 1 at home. Give me 1 at home back in Orlando City.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, 1-800-GAMBLER. Look, Knicks, Pistons. We chose the Pistons. We got Pistons, Celtics here. I mean, look, this is not the Pistons and Celtics matchups of the primes of both, which those battles were epic. Love those battles. Look, the Celtics are just too good, man. I have the Celtics beating the Pistons in 5. I think they got some. I think they got nickel series until the conference final. They're gonna be 5 games against the Magic, 5 games against the Pistons, and they're gonna be probably better rested than Cavs because I think the Pacers can take the Cavs to 6 games probably. I think that's very likely. They might even beat them, to be honest, depending on how well Cleveland plays, because again, you're talking about a Cleveland Cavaliers team that they've not been on the upswing. They're on the downswing right now, and maybe they got bored because the East is so top heavy, like you said. It's not really as competitive as the West as far as your bottom team still being able to sneak up on you at times. It's just not the same in the East. Kind of just we're playing with our food. We got this one stock, no one's really touching us. If the Thunder were in the East, we'd have or if they were in just the same conference, doesn't matter. It'd be probably more, it'd mean more to them. I just don't know if they're gonna wake up. I don't think, like I said, their first round matchup doesn't matter, but this is where it really comes into play here, Zach. I mean, what are your thoughts here? Do you think the Pacers can just go ahead and do this thing, or is this one of those where it's they're just gonna really, really push this Cavs team?
Pacers in 7.
I hate it.
I don't see. When Cleveland loses, they lose bad, and it looks ugly when they lose. And I think they've been exploited a few times by some playmaking guards. I think they have trouble against players like Tyrese Halliburton. Their defense has been not built to disrupt passes as much as it is to clog lanes. When you talk about Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, like these, they're not deflecting as much as other teams. Tyrese Halliburton knows that the ball moves faster than people. And I mean, Indiana's a great transition team, a really, really good transition team. They're going to play really, really fast, and that's bad for Cleveland. I It's tough because Cleveland obviously has that insane regular season record, but I think Indiana's just a bad matchup for them. Now, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, those are the two guys I'm looking at to see like can they step up on offense like we've seen them do a couple of times this season. Can Jared Allen give you 20 points in a game 4 if you need it? Um, that's an interesting question. Donovan Mitchell, obviously. I mean, I don't think there's much to say about Donovan Mitchell. He's proven himself to be one of the greatest playoff performers ever, one of the greatest playoff risers ever. I'll never forget Donovan Mitchell in the bubble. That was insane. But yeah, Pacers and 7.
Yeah, you can't really count the final two games that the Cavs played against the Pacers. Sat everybody and lost both of those. Both teams were sitting everybody, so you can't really count those. But of the two games they played back to back, kind of break in. They went 1-1 against them. Mitchell had to drop 35 to get a 10-point win against on the road, but both road teams won those games. The game that Pacers did win by 15, and really, like you said, the difference was the guard play. But it wasn't Halliburton. It was actually Andrew Nembhard. Halliburton went 1 of 5 from the floor, 0 for 2 from 3, and was a negative 14 plus minus with 2 points. Nembhard made up for it, 7 of 11 from 50%, dropping 19. Miles Turner drops 15, 18. On the other side, even though you had Mitchell, Garland, and Allen all scored double digits, wasn't enough. So yeah, it doesn't look like this matchup is very favorable for Cleveland. So I like your Pacers in 7 pick. I kind of like Pacers in 6. If the trend continues, I don't. Cleveland might be the biggest fraud that we've seen in a long, long time. And I'm talking about like since that Mavs team lost to the Suns first round back in the Dirk Nash Finley
Yeah.
days. I mean that's what we're looking at because it's just record wise so impressive. Um, but they're just not playing well right now. It's just a really bad time to not be playing well. Maybe beating up on it, the Hawks or Heat will help them regain some confidence because they're going to need it because they do not play well against the. So I kind of like the Pacers to dethrone this one. I think this is a really weak 1 seed. It's one of those where it's like the Celtics probably could have had it. They just didn't really care. They're more worried about just this point because I think me and you both agree that's the best team, even though they got a 2 next to them.
Yeah, we do. I mean, they're the best team in the East, and so in terms of Pacer Celtics.
Oh,
Sorry, Indiana. I'm sorry. I'm really
yeah,
sorry, Indiana. Boston's way better. I'm going Boston in 5.
I got Boston in 6. Give me 6. Give me 6. I think again. I think that the Pacers playing well enough to push it games. They might only win their home games, which is fine. I don't know if they steal one on the road. I just don't know if that's even possible considering the makeup of. I do agree that the Celtics are hands down better from top to bottom. I just think again, playoff basketball a little different. Hands get a little sweaty sometimes, and maybe you drop a couple. But I don't think the Celtics are in trouble here. I think, like you said, on to the finals with the Boston Celtics, which leads us into the Western Conference Finals between Thunder Western Finals. I mean, is this one of those where LeBron becomes Thunder killer again here, Zach, or is that time done?
Man, that's tough, but I think it's done. Jalen Williams, Jordan LeBron, Jordan Luca. Those are two guys that can do really well against those, superstars. Dude, OKC is really good. I mean, they're really, really good. Just one of the best defensive teams we've ever seen, and that was without Chet for most of the year. Like, small ball lineup had one of the best defensive ratings ever. That was with Jalen Williams playing center. Like, man, this team is really, really good. I am 100% confident to say this is the best regular season team I've ever seen, and that includes the 73-9 Warriors because
They weren't as dominant. They didn't have as
they
many
weren't they weren't as
double-digit wins.
dominant. They
Yeah,
weren't,
yeah.
and like, I get it. OKC lost a few more games, but I mean, 68 and what 14 compared to 73-9, like,
Negligible, unless you're talking about
yeah,
like
like,
literally wanting to have that record. Like it's literally negligible because it's like you said, it's just such a different animal. Two teams of what they've done over there. Like the impressive part to me is, like I said, the 54 double-digit wins is impressive to me because it shows that we're not just skirting by teams. We're not just hitting game winners to beat. We are literally beating the shit out of teams. Like
we had more double digit wins than like the number 2 seed had wins.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's like whoa.
like that's the kind of dominance that OKC has had this year. And I get it, regular season, I get it, really young team, but they went to the second round last year and they got their ass beat. Not really in 6, but like
They got bullied.
they got bullied, yeah. And I think that they learned from that. Not to mention the fact that we fixed every problem that we had in that series. One of them was
Yes.
Josh Giddey. The other one was the fact that we couldn't rebound.
Yeah, so Hartenstein fixes that.
We needed someone. We needed someone to be able to defend off the bench really well. We got Alex Caruso.
Yep.
Not to mention Cason Wallace is taking a leap this year. Like,
he needs to shoot better from 3, though. I need to see him shoot better from 3. I need Cason Wallace to shoot better.
I don't know if it matters when Isaiah Joe is hitting like 60% the last 10 games.
They need that's to me that's the biggest thing is Isaiah Joe and Cason need to shoot. If Joe shoots bad and Cason shoots good, that's still not great because Cason gets like 4 good threes a game. Like Joe will jack 7 or 8 threes a game, but if he turns into what he turned into last postseason, which is a guy that couldn't for some reason hit a 3 that was even wide open for the life of him, that's still going to be a problem. Now, is it as big of a problem? No. You know why? Because the defense is so. It makes up for a lot of those bad shootings from your role players. Is if your defense is as dominant as they are, and like you said, this is a historically good defense, so you can make up for a lot of those, and they couldn't do that last season.
Don't you know that OKC has 7 players shooting 40% or better from 3?
Wasn't it similar last year though? I feel like the whole team was shooting 40% heading into the playoffs, and everyone was like, "Oh, look at this."
We've seen some huge improvement. Jalen Williams is hitting 45%. Isaiah Joe's hitting 42.6, Cason Wallace 41.6, Kenrich Williams even 40.2, Chet's hitting 40.1, Lou Dort's hitting a 40.1. Lou Dort used to be someone you left open, and like he's hitting over 40% of his threes now. Like
he's the only player last year that did what he was supposed to. He was the only player last year besides SGA that did what he was supposed to.
I just can't imagine everyone shooting bad again. It's just so unlikely that happens.
No, you're right. Again. You're right. No, you're right. It's just that's the scariest part to me. It's like that's all it takes. It's just you. I mean, and that's what's scary to me is it's like it shouldn't happen. Everything is pointing to this giant, just not cruise control, but I mean this giant wave of just finishing the job. I still think this series goes 6. I really like the Thunder to finish this thing off. On the road in LA, make them bitches cry. I really think that's where we're headed here. I don't want to be in OKC for Game 7. I don't want it. Nope, I don't want to go 7 with it. I really don't because I don't want to see Game 7 LeBron and Luka. That's a nightmare scenario for me. Even on the road, I mean, it doesn't matter at that point. Game 7 on the road, I don't care how loud that place is. Those two guys are killers, man. Like they're killers. I mean, Mike Miller ain't walking through that door, but I mean, those two guys still are like just jabbing a knife in your side. Like, God, fuck, another crazy shot. Fuck. I mean, like it's crazy to me. Like, cause Luka's a magician. Like we know this. He can hit a shot with 9 hands in his face. Don't matter. I mean, but it's just I just don't shoot bad. That's all I say. Just keep doing what you're doing, and again, different style of basketball, but it doesn't matter for this team. People are like, oh, it's going to get more physical and they're not going to cause as many fouls. That doesn't matter. This team is better than that.
Oh, I just want to say, here are the 3-point percentage stats since the All-Star break.
Oh, here we go.
Jalen Williams, 54.2.
Jesus.
Dang. That's J Will, not J Dub.
Okay.
That's
J Will. Just like Jesus.
54.2.
It's like what?
On 3 attempts a game. Oos is averaging 50%. Isaiah Joe 44.3%.
How many
J
attempts?
Dub 42.7.
Okay.
J Dub 42.4% on 5. Lou Dort 41.5% on 6. SGA 41.2% on 6. Caruso 41% on 3. Cason Wallace 39.7 on 3.
Yeah, see, that's
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean,
Aaron
but again,
Wiggins 38.8. Kenrich Williams 38.2. Chet 38. Like,
okay, here's another question. How often are we going to see players like Wiggins and take the floor? Are we going to see them only if they're up by a lot? Are we going to see them play a vital
no,
role in some of these?
Wiggins will play 15 or more minutes a
Okay.
game. I think the rotation, the 8-man rotation, right, is really what you're
Yeah.
looking at for a playoff team, right? You're usually looking at 8 guys. So SGA, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, uh, Chet, Isaiah Hartenstein. There's your 5, right? After that, it's got to be Isaiah Joe. I think it's got to be Alex Caruso. And I think it's got to be Aaron Wiggins.
I agree with
So,
that.
because those Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe lineups with SGA running the show, those are great numbers. Now I think you have to add a 9 guy in this scenario, and probably even a 10 guy, because Cason Wallace is probably going to get minutes. I think we could see Mark's probably going to play more than 8 guys regularly. I think he's probably going to play 10 or 11, honestly, because that's what we've been doing all year, and it's been working.
Yeah.
So I would say like those first 8 are probably going to get the most minutes, but Cason Wallace is probably going to get a lot of time, especially if we need like a good defender. Another good perimeter defender. And I think Jay Will's earned, a playoff rotation spot over the last couple of months. The dude has been kind of like carrying these victories when we sit a lot of our starters.
Triple
Like,
doubles and
he's
shit,
over here
right?
getting
Yeah.
triple doubles.
Yeah.
Like if he needs it, he'll triple double, which is just like a great skill to have. And he's shooting really well. So I like Jay Will to be in this lineup. So that's like my 10. I can't see AJ Mitchell getting minutes. I don't see Dukas. I don't see Alex or not Alex
Flagler.
Jones. I don't see
Flagler.
I don't see Dylan Jones. I don't see Adam Flagler, and I don't see Brandon Carlson getting any playoff minutes unless it's garbage time.
Unless it's garbage time. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, so where do you see this series going, man? I think Thunder and 6 is my guess here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Thunder in 6. Like it's
I mean,
tough to say 7.
we're gonna be sweating at times. I don't think none of these games are gonna be easy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. I don't want to lose to Luca again. So, God, I'm not looking forward to that series. I'll give you that.
No, I'll be sweating.
I'd much rather it be the Warriors, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think we handle the Warriors a lot better than we can handle them for sure. I'll take playoff Jimmy and Steph over playoff Luca and playoff LeBron and playoff Austin Reeves. No thanks. I'm pass. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I mean, because technically what you're doing is swapping out Austin Reeves with Buddy Hield, and like I'll take that. I'll take Buddy over Austin Reeves. Please,
I'll take that all day.
Please, please, Steph. So, please, one time, just one time.
So that gives us OKC Celtics.
Yeah, and look, I'll get a start.
We've agreed on every single series so far, which is crazy.
This is where things can get a little iffy for me. Look, this has all the makings of going the distance here. This is Sweatfest 2025. Both of these teams are incredibly good at shooting the basketball. But again, the Celtics led the league in field goal percentage from the floor from top to bottom on the roster. That's really tough. But defensively, this is where championships are won. This doesn't matter what sport. I don't care. Defense wins championships. And who's got the best defense in the NBA, Zach? It's the Oklahoma City Thunder, baby.
And it's tough, man. It's really tough.
I mean, look, I'm taking Thunder in 7, baby. Like, you know me, I'm ride or die. Like we're going with the Thunder in 7. This is the best team that we have seen since this team started in 2008. This is it. This is the best team. Like this is the
best team I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I still really hold those Warriors teams in really high regard, especially with Kevin Durant. Those teams are really good. I even think they were better than Cleveland when Cleveland beat them. I still will say that until I don't think that there will like visibly that team was so good to me. Like the Thunder make it look too easy. You know what I'm saying? Like the Thunder make it look so easy that you're like, oh, they're just this other team just stinks. You know, when Golden State took the floor, it was like I'm ready to watch like 45 threes just go. I got Clay and Steph going bananas. I mean Andre Iguodala. I mean the whole entire makeup of that was just it just seemed like something that like visibly was more appealing because the Thunder just make games boring. They're so good. So yes, they're the best team probably that we've ever seen, but it just doesn't feel like it. And this is one of those things where if they complete this, there's no debate. There's no debate about whether or not this team is possibly one of the top 5 all-time best teams in the NBA in the history of the league being merged back in 1979. This is it. Like this is it. And if they pull it off against Boston, I think that's the final nail in the coffin. I think you have to give these guys their flowers. It makes Mark Dagnall an instant first ballot Hall of Fame head coach. It makes all players on this team qualified to be in the discussion for a Hall of Fame position here. I mean, now obviously the scrub guys. I mean, okay, let's just be real. But I'm talking about at least those 8 to 10 guys. Those guys have a chance to literally cement themselves into the NBA history books with not only one of the best teams of all time, one of the best stories of all time, one of the most camaraderie, team-driven groups that I've ever seen. That's what makes this team special to me, Zach, is the fact these guys love each other. This isn't just a business to them. This is a family. This is a unit that sticks together thick or thin, and they love everybody in the organization. They show it. They're not afraid to show it because they are young. They have those emotions that haven't been zapped out of them by the league because the Celtics, they're older. They've got more veteran status. That's no surprise. But those guys are there to win basketball games because they're getting paid, and that's their job. This team is having fun. This team loves each other, and that's what makes it better. Love always wins, Zach, and that's the key to this is love wins. Give me the Thunder.
Listen, just to give a couple of stats here. Point differential, right?
Yeah.
All time.
Yep.
Thunder broke the record this year with a 12.87 point differential per game. That's the number one of all time. That includes pre-merger.
Yep.
That's everything.
Yep.
I'm just going to list off the next 6, 8. I'm going to list off the next 8 teams in order.
Go for it.
After the Thunder. 72 Lakers won a championship. 71 Bucks won a championship. 96 Bulls won a championship. 17 Warriors won a championship. 24 Celtics won a championship. 72 Bucks lost in the finals against the number 2 point differential of all time, 72 Lakers. Number 8, 97 Bulls. Number 9, 16 Warriors. And they lost to LeBron in that game 7 that you said they were a better team. I agree with you.
Yeah.
16 Spurs, who probably would have won the title if like Kawhi
hit
didn't
your
get
free
hurt.
throws.
Yeah. 92 Bulls, 08 Celtics, 15 Warriors. Like
yeah, they're all title appearing or title winning teams, and most likely wins over appearances.
Winning,
yeah, mostly
like, the
wins.
only ones that have lost are to other teams on the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly. I mean, so are the Celtics of this year on the list anywhere? Like what? I mean,
no.
Oh, okay. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, you're looking at that.
Oh, they're number 23.
Okay, so it would be a disappointment. You know, like you can't. I mean, according to the stats, there's
Cavs, by the way, are number 16. Cavs number 16.
But I think that I mean, if you lose to the Celtics in this series, Zach, that's gotta be the biggest disappointment out of any of those teams you just named. That would be the biggest. I mean, you could even debate it would be the biggest upset out of all those teams you listed because, like you said, the rest of those teams lost to teams that were higher or right behind them on that list, and they're nowhere near it. I think that would be a super big disappointment. Now, does that? It just means that the Celtics play more close games. I get that, but against a lesser conference, you can't allow that to happen. I mean, they're playing teams that are not even in the discussion for the playoffs if they're in the western side of this league, and you're gonna go ahead and tell me that you're supposed to lose to that team? I don't care how good this defense is good, and that has to mean something. That proves that it's.
Dude, I mean, just looking at these stats, it's just insane how good this team is, man.
Why
Like
am I so scared though?
in terms of
Why are we so? I mean,
it's tough. I understand it, but listen to this, dude. Like net ranking this season, #1 in points, #6 in assists, #1 in steals, #5 in blocks, #1 in field goal percentage, #6 or no, number two in 3-point percentage, #1 in free throw percentage, #2 in true percentage, #1 in turnovers. Like we have the least amount of turnovers lead, #10 in defensive rebounding. Like the only stat that's bad for us
age.
is offensive rebounding, and free throw attempts because we have one of the worst whistles in the league, despite what the media or what
Yeah.
everyone wants to
Well,
say.
and you
We're
and you
29th in free
well,
throw
and you
attempts.
want to know why our offensive rebounds are down? Because we make too many shots. There's no rebounds to
We
get.
make
I
all of
mean,
our freaking
yeah,
shots
there's
because we're
no
#1 in
rebounds.
field goal
Yeah,
percentage and
there's no
#2 in
rebounds to
3-point
get.
percentage.
There's
Like
no rebounds offensively
this
to
team,
get.
I'm gonna say it. Like if this team wins the title, I'm calling them the best team of all time.
And the thing is you probably won't see another team like this happen until after we're dead. I mean, at this pace, like I mean, Sam Presti's a genius, man. Like I don't know how we went from 2 years ago being like, Jesus, this team is so bad. Like, is success like done? Are these young guys not gonna pan out? To like to having a team where financially we're even set for more years than people think we are. I mean, Jay's already got his bag. The other guys don't need to be paid until after next season. I mean, we're in a really good spot to at least be in the conversation for a back-to-back situation, but you got to get the first one out of the way. And once you get the first one out
Yeah.
of the way, you gain that confidence, and that's the only thing this team doesn't have, Zach, is playoff confidence. That's it. But you get to the Western Conference Finals and beat the Lakers, that's all the confidence you need to probably propel yourself for a back-to-back, at least finals appearance.
These defensive stats are insane.
Yeah, I mean
Oh my
it's
god.
just unlikely that they don't
We're
pull this
third, like
off.
opponent in terms of like how we hold the defense. We're #3 in points, #4 in assists, like #1 in steals, #1 in field goal percentage, #1 in 3-point percentage, #2 in true percentage, #1 in turnovers. Like we are like ever as good as we are on offense, which is the stats I listed first.
Yeah,
We're like equally as good on defense, and that's insane. That's
yeah,
just insane.
and that should be good
Like, this
enough to
team is so
stop
good,
and it should
man.
be good enough to stop the team that shoots the best in the league. I mean, when best is against best, where does the advantage lie? It's with the defense, especially in basketball. You can stop a team like that defensively, and they just can't find a rhythm, and you play your ball. Been playing all season long. It's Jover. Like it's so Jover. Like it. I mean, this would be a sweep if the Celtics just weren't as good as they are. And that's really because they could win this series in 7. They could win it in 5. I wouldn't shock me because again, the only thing people would scream is they're just too young. They don't have the experience. They don't have the gall. It would be like flashbacks of 2012 where it's like, oh, Russ and KD are young. James Harden is young. And they'll be back again. And then what happened? James left, and we didn't go back until SpaghettiOs year, where Russell gets hurt, and then there goes that chance. The other thing about this team, Zach, is the health of it. You have to give the props to the medical staff and the training staff for Oklahoma City being able to keep this team as healthy as it's been the last 2 years. If that can continue, there's nothing that can stop them other than themselves.
Yeah. I, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Against Boston, the question for me is Kristaps. I think Hartenstein and Chet hold him. I'm going OKC in 5.
Ooh, I would like it. I would like it. Win
I'm
it at
not. I
home.
like. I
Finish it at
just.
home. Finish it at home. I would
I
love
just
that.
don't. I just like they're so good. They're so good, and that's like objective. I think anyone. I think everyone agrees. Like they are so good, and I know people doubt their age. I get it, but dude, like
Yeah, it's such
you
a
don't have a season like that. You do not have a season like that and then not perform in the playoffs. Like we saw every other team that's had those kind of stats do it. I can't see a world they lose. I just don't.
I
I
mean,
think they're
I'm
gonna
cool
go
with that.
like I think they're gonna go like they're only gonna play like 18 playoff games. Like
They,
they're probably gonna go like 16-2. Like
where's
if we're being
where's
honest.
where's I mean, yeah, I'm probably more like probably like 16-5 or 6 probably. I do think they're gonna drop more than people think they're gonna drop, but it won't happen until those last 2 rounds. I don't think they're gonna really start losing one game in a finals. I think you have a good shot at 5 against Nuggets, depending on how well you're playing. I don't Do the Clippers pose a bigger threat talent wise? Absolutely. But I think again, like you said, looking at you know going the distance possibly in the last two, but the other ones, like you said, will be shorter. And again, they're going to be well rested more than the Celtics probably. I mean, look, Magic and the Pistons aren't exact world beaters either. They'll probably cruise series, but I think the Eastern Conference Finals will still series. It won't. Yeah, maybe the Celtics will be better rested. What are your thoughts? I think the Celtics better rested than the Thunder heading in. Seems like they
I
got
don't
the
think it
easier
matters.
path.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is it doesn't matter because the Thunder are so young. Bounce back quicker than
Yeah.
guys can. To their advantage. I think again, last year you had one of those things where it's like these young bucks don't really know, you know, what it's like to have this kind of situation thrust upon them. They handled New Orleans very well, but we knew that the talent gap was really, really wide there, and they weren't really going to struggle in that series. That's kind of again where they're at. Where it's just the first round's not really going to matter. They should be able to do that in their sleep. It's these next ones they're going to have. They can get past the Clippers or Nuggets easily. I think that they will really feel good about playing the Lakers or Warriors in the finals. Obviously, like they'll feel really good about that. Get the Warriors, and obviously, I think you have a chance for them and the Celtics to play the same amount of games in the finals and matter anyways. It's just they're just good, and I'm just ready for them to finish it and just do what they need to do. I don't want to be the team that didn't get it done. Don't want to be that.
Yeah, and that's what I think we're most scared. I think that's why Thunder fans are so scared, because it's like there's so much pressure on this
Well, because
right
if
now
you
because
don't, then like you will never hear
yeah,
the end of it, and then
yeah.
and it also won't matter if any other team matches whatever we did because they'll be like, well, the Thunder collapsed in the playoffs. Like even if another team somehow
Well, I
matches the kind
mean,
of defensive and offensive statistics that we're looking at this year, I mean that'll always be a talking point. I just
it'd
don't
be
want to
like
hear
the
it.
'07 Mavs. I mean, like the '07 Mavs, they won 67 games and then they lost in the first round to the Warriors,
Warriors,
we
yeah,
believe.
the Jason Richardson Warriors.
Baron Davis, baby.
Baron Davis was a baller. I think people sleep on him, man. He was a baller.
Yeah, he was great.
All right, well that's our playoff breakdown. Before we get out of here, let's just kind of touch on these last couple for obviously gone over our time, but we're making up for lost time. Taking some weeks off, we've gotten to let everything kind of dial down to this crescendo of here comes more action here. Um, Look, let's start off with spring game stuff for a minute. People are getting rid of spring games, bringing spring games back, doing this combine crap. Obviously, nobody showed up in Norman for the combine. Whoop de doo. Like, I mean, we could. I mean, you're charging me to show
Yeah,
up. Shut the fuck up.
who
I
gives
mean,
a
like,
shit?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just if you're a sicko, you go to that shit. Or if you're poor and you know you ain't gonna go to a game, that's where you get take the kiddos and go to the players and sit in the seats. It's a good opportunity for lower income people, sickos, to go out there and just kind of see what's up. But do you have a problem with them getting the teams going away from spring games and scrimmages and more of a confined like just fun pro day style thing? Because to me, I always enjoyed going to the spring games and seeing some of these guys that you knew were not going to see the field for like a year or so, like the young guys that probably aren't getting a lot of playing time, to see kind of where the team lies in the futuristically. But now you can't even do that because with NIL, it's like if they have a good spring game, like they could be gone because look at how good they
Yeah.
go. And I think that's the biggest fear. I think that's the biggest reason why these programs are pulling it is because they don't want to give other teams a look at, oh boy, this freshman looks really good, but he's not going to get any playing time because junior ahead of him is so freaking good. But maybe we can get him in the offseason. They're not giving him no money. Like, let's give him some money, And I think that's kind of where we're at here. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like the spring game thing is tough because I mean, I think you could easily fix it and get more people interested if you just let teams play each other in a spring game. If you let them schedule spring games, if you let OU and OSU play a spring game, that like one game there, one game like you flip flop every year, whatever it is, like
That would be
that would
cool.
get people to go.
Yeah,
People would
and
go to that.
yeah,
People
and
would pay for
because
that.
you're
It's
not
like
gonna, you're not,
that's
yeah,
bedlam.
and you're not gonna play each other
It's
in the
bedlam.
regular season. So I mean, it's all you can get
Yeah,
right
and
now.
that'd be
Yeah,
something really exciting to have in the spring, right? Is like
yeah.
Bedlam. That'd be awesome. But currently the NCAA does not allow that. So I think unless that gets allowed, then yeah, I don't think the spring game is important at all. I would rather see like a pro day, something. I don't even listen. It's really just for the fans, and at this point, it's not for the fans anymore. It's to get NIL money.
Yeah.
So sell some T-shirts, man. Like,
I mean, but I mean, like I said, OU fans didn't really show up for it. I mean, like if people aren't
yeah, we
showing
went from
up, like,
50,000 last year to 5,000 this year. I mean, it's
yeah,
just not.
how is that helping your NIL?
Well,
That's
okay.
all I'm saying.
Well,
That's
let's
all
be
I'm saying.
honest. Well, let's be honest. Winning 6 games didn't help,
No, no,
but
no, but this team is supposed to be so
like,
much better. Like that was like there's more hype
well,
around
yeah, but
this
people
team
don't
than
know
last.
that. Like, a lot of people don't know that. They know that six
Yeah,
games last year, and last year we
yeah,
were coming off a 10-win season, so
yeah.
it's just it's
Talking about,
different.
we're talking about casuals here. We're talking about casuals, not people that pay attention. We're talking
Yeah,
about casuals that are like, I like OU when they're good, and when they're bad, I don't watch. Like, like casuals.
yeah. Like, I think people thought that. I think people had a lot of hype on Jackson Norman. I mean, we're guilty,
Yeah, I'm
and
guilty.
yeah,
I'm guilty. I mean, yeah, and hey, I mean, live and learn, live and learn.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know if it really affects anything other than just like you said, giving people. But I don't really care about it as much. It does. I do have fond memories of being up in the box at issues. I probably won't forget again. But I think that that's kind of the only thing it was there for, was just to kind of be like, hey, like, just a good bring the kiddos along, have a hot dog, have a popcorn, chill, and just be like, hey, it's about. So it stinks as far as that aspect, but logically it makes sense to not have it, and obviously with the element to keep some of these good players from people looking at their spring game on YouTube. That guy, we need to target that. I think that's kind of one of the parts. So yeah, don't really care, but it's sad to see it kind of go the way it has because of what.
Yeah, yeah, it's NIL's fault.
God, fuck. Um, Speaking of other things we're disappointed and kind of sad and nostalgic about, Lee Corso deciding to hang up the headgear as his last year on College Game Day will not even be. Just gonna get rid of him after the week. Obviously, cognitively not doing well. Kirk has been his steady hand that been very tight, because it's almost like being a caregiver for Kirk.
Yeah, like it's obvious that he's not all there.
Yeah, and that's what makes it sad. But also, it's just I'm glad they're giving him one last hurrah. He'll always be to me a very fond memory. They put him in all the games, and stuff like that, and they were very good about that until later iterations. Until then, they still had head on wave. I mean, and again, this that and game day in Columbus just set off something that they never could have anticipated, and I will miss him. Not so fast, my friend. Into the night you go, and I just hope that his end of his cognitive decline does not get as it like it could. We're all gonna get there one day, and at least he gets to go out graceful, more graceful than most of us, out of the public eye. So that's my roses to your
Just to
thoughts.
clarify to everybody, he is not dead yet.
No, he's not dead. He's just dead on our
Just
TVs.
retiring.
He's dead on our
um,
TVs. He's dead.
but he, yeah, one of in my opinion, the greatest to ever do it. So,
Hard to debate when there wasn't really a lot of people that did it other than him, because he was so
yeah,
good. They just kept him around.
yeah. So, I mean, I think people like Kurt Reese Davis are up there for next up. Even Pat McAfee might be that guy, but
I told you Pat McAfee looks like the next headgear guy. I just hope they don't
yeah,
do it. But I just if
yeah,
anybody
just
was
don't do
gonna
headgear
do it,
thing
it's
anymore.
him. Like, I get it. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
he's
like
the
just have him do the thing. Well, have him do his thing that he's been doing, like singing the fight song or whatever.
yeah, do that. Get rid of the headgear.
So yeah, that's no more headgear. It's just I think it'd be disrespectful to Lee Corso. But so he's calling. Which game is it?
Oh God, I didn't even. I know it's August 30th.
Yeah,
I know
it? I bet it's Ohio State.
it would make sense. I don't think it. Oh, really don't. It would make sense. I wouldn't put it past you to 30th. Here we go. 30th. Ohio. think he's gonna be at the.
Is it the 30th?
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw. I don't think they were gonna let him go until September. Definitely August. Oh, it could be Texas, Ohio State, Texas. It probably is. I would assume.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
probably
so
Ohio State,
so yeah,
Texas. It's gotta be.
yeah, gotta be. Yeah, so yeah, no, that's fitting. Yeah, farewell where where it started. I think that's probably why they did. We're probably gonna make him quit after the last one last year, but they were like, well, an opportunity to have him in started. And I think that was.
Yeah, well, he probably made the decision like during the off season,
Yeah.
and I think he wanted one more. Let him do one more.
I mean, some good games that day, other than Ohio State, Texas.
And by the way, OSU favored by 3 in that game.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Florida State, Alabama. Here.
First lines of the next season.
We're already looking, baby. Sportsbook will be back.
I'm going to go my lock here. I'm going to take Ohio State to cover that 3.
Oh, I'm taking Alabama cover that 11.5. Fuck off. Florida State ain't got a chance. There's no way that line stays that low. Holy. But yeah, no, it's fitting to. Last thing we'll touch on before we get out of here. Ron stupid. Haslam says Jimmy Butler smarter than Ron and D Wade basketball IQ wise. I don't necessarily feel like I could disagree with that. As I said, like the analogy I said earlier was, Peyton Manning, one of the greatest offensive minds in the NFL all time, but Tom Brady's still better than him. Like, I mean, LeBron's still better than Jimmy and D Wade. Like, I mean, like as a player, like, but you can have a lower basketball IQ and be better. So I don't know if he's. And the guy played with him. I mean, he's not coming from a place of like outside. He got to play with LeBron for years. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, he's doing the same shit Kendrick Perkins was doing when he started, and that's just like making random ass hot takes about people he played with.
Yeah.
Like, no, LeBron James is the smartest basketball player ever. It's not a question. It's not a fucking question. It's not even close. Like, everything we've seen proves it. Like, Jimmy has a high IQ since when? Like, Jimmy's a good basketball player, but like, since when are we saying he's like a high IQ guy?
Like, I mean, it did kind of surprise me that he put Jimmy on the basketball.
It's not like he's averaging 10 assists. Like, he's not.
Is that your measuring stick? Is assists?
Well, like, he's not orchestrating offense. He's not doing anything that. He's driving to the lane and he's making tough
great back cuts
to the free throw line.
Great back cuts, like, great cutter.
Yeah, like what? I'm not saying he's not a good player, but what about what he does gives you like high IQ?
Maybe it's on the defensive side of the ball because LeBron can't defend worth a crap. So I mean, it's like
that's not true.
I know.
I mean,
you want me to pull up the Skip Bayless Jubilee thing? You're making a lot of good points. I think you could have gone toe to toe with the old man.
Dude was robbed of DPOY in 2013. Like, we're talking about Heat LeBron here. We're not talking about like.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's prime LeBron. Prime LeBron. That's prime LeBron.
We're talking about 2013 LeBron, who was probably the best player ever. Like,
not the smartest. Jimmy got him better grades in school. Jimmy went to college. Damn it,
probably
Jimmy
not.
went. Jimmy went to college. Jimmy went to college.
Yeah, didn't he flunk out and go to? He had to go to Tyler Junior College, dude. Like,
he ended his. Didn't he go to Marquette though? Wasn't that where it was?
Yeah, he ended up at Marquette.
Just like D Wade. Yeah, just like D Wade.
Yeah, and even the D Wade thing, like, I don't know, like, I'd probably still take D Wade.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe
LeBron thing is crazy. The LeBron thing is crazy. Like, UD is crazy. He's just trying to get views.
He's content farming. Content farmer.
Yeah,
new farmer just dropped. New content farmer just dropped.
Okay, let's be honest. Like, Jimmy drops a good playing game, and now he's smarter than LeBron. He's smarter than LeBron because he had a good playing game.
Well, if the Warriors beat the Lakers in the series, will you admit Jimmy is smarter than LeBron?
No.
See, you're scared because you know it could happen.
I don't care if the Lakers get swept in 3 by the Bulls. Like, nothing that can ever happen ever in the future will make you convince me that Jimmy Butler has a higher IQ, basketball IQ than LeBron James. LeBron James is 40.
LeBron James is 40.
He's 40, man. Like, he's 40 and he's fifth place in MVP right now, and he's 40. Like, fuck off.
He'll be fifth place in MVP if he's sitting on the bench when he's 50. Shut the hell up. Like you know he would get votes.
You're right. You're right.
You know, the man's an international superstar. He's the one name that like everybody on the planet would be like, name an NBA player? Him or Kobe? Like,
name an NBA player. Name an NBA player.
Yeah.
Anderson Varejao.
We're talking about if you go to the middle of Ghana and you ask somebody like name an NBA player, like I don't know if they're gonna pull Anderson Varejao.
They're gonna say 2020 first round game for DJ Warren. it's I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man. All right. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No. I hope the Cowboys lose all games this year, and yeah.
But we'll keep asking about that because days away from pain.
Jerry Jones
death clock still on.
I look up his age. I look up his age every day.
checking to see.
Every day we get further. The chance increases.
I mean, hey, get yourself a bottle of Visine.
Further away. He's getting himself further and further away from that life expectancy line. It's
all it takes is a couple drops of Visine, people. Just a couple drops of Visine.
He's gonna live to be 100, and he's gonna do it because he hates me.
He's gonna live to be 127, and you're gonna be like, why won't this dude die? Like, what demon did he?
Gonna own the Cowboys, and he's still gonna be the GM of the Cowboys.
He probably has it built in where in the afterlife they have to get a Ouija board out and consult his dead ass. You're never gonna escape him. The ghost will checking in on Jerry Jones.
They're like, should we draft?
Extend Dak. Oh fuck! Like, and you know,
80 million.
Yeah, you're like, son of a bitch.
Sign Zeke.
They're like, boy, the Cowboys are taking really long on this draft clock. Meanwhile, they look over at the camera back there, like, moving around that pyramid on there, like, come on. It's like, boy, why does every single player to have 14 letters in their name? They are really running the clock down, Bob. Let's see how long it takes to bring them out. You know I'm right. I'm right.
It's gonna happen.
Steven wants to talk to Daddy. Bro,
I'm gonna be like, I'm probably never gonna see them win a Super Bowl.
It's a high possibility. Unfortunately, very high possibility. I'm very glad.
I'm gonna pick a new team. I'm gonna pick the Panthers, so you can't call me a bandwagon.
Hey, Bryce Young is on the upswing. You've probably got about a good 5 or 6 years until they're like competing for like a spot in the Super Bowl. They've got a good base. People underestimate. Carolina's definitely got a good base. They just are really bad now. I think Bryce Young continues to improve. Good things for the Panthers. Good pick, baby. I'm sticking with my Pats. I'm not.
Listen, I'm always gonna be a Cowboys fan. I'm loyal, but
and also getting absolutely destroyed every aspect, mentally and physically ailing. We feel bad for you. We really do. T's and P's for Zach out there. It's gonna get ugly, and again, the Ouija board will be out. Look, we're gonna get out of here. Episode 99 will be next. We are inching closer, folks, to those triple digits. Thank you for hanging out with us this long. We're making up for lost time, but you got good stuff. Now we can go ahead and we can focus on the finer thing, which is spring football, transfer portal news that continues to drop on the daily, and we'll obviously keep you up to date with all the NBA playoff action that will happen over the weekend. We'll update you as the games continue, and there'll probably be games going on when we talk to you next, so we'll keep you up to date with that. For me here back in the St0ner Sports Radio studio, and Zach back out there at the Palace in Huffman County, this has been the St0ner Sports Radio podcast signing off. Enjoy your evening.